Welcome to Co-Work Radio here on KZSB 1290 AM. I'm Catherine Raymock.
And I'm Jane Walker-Wood.
And we're a show all about the modern entrepreneur. Each week, among other things, we interview two company founders. And we want to thank our sponsors, Impact Hub, to begin with. Right now, there's a special promotion. If you mention Co-Work Radio, 10% off the first 6 months. You're going to love it.
Kristen Johan Smith is here with us today, and he is president and co-founder of TrackR. Each year, the company sells 5 million devices to track tens of millions of lost items with the app.
And they're based in Santa Barbara.
Yes,
really fascinating. Luc Maes, the founder of Kaebae, makers of sustainable health and beauty products, is also with us. But first, news that every modern entrepreneur should know.
I want to give a special shout-out of congratulations to Santa Barbara-based Plotograph Plus, who have now surpassed 1 million downloads on the App Store as of this week, making it one of the fastest-growing apps of the year. And this app, for those of you who don't know, allows you to easily add motion to any still photo without video or multiple images.
And we've had them in as a guest before. It's fascinating. We mentioned that you'll find yourself playing with it a lot if you just download it for the day. It could take a whole day of your time. All right, I don't know if you heard this. This was out today, more and more about the ride-hailing service Uber. And now they're saying that the data breach where hackers got into personal information, they're now saying that it affected some 57 million people around the world. That's how many people they have information on. And we'll see what this does to Uber, already sort of coming in second to Lyft these days.
And did you hear they paid $100,000 to the hackers to supposedly delete information and not use it?
That I did not hear.
I don't know. I guess they got their Brownie Scout word that they deleted. Anyway, an interesting interview today on CNBC with Michael Gould, who was the CEO of Bloomingdale, talking about how if you're in retail, you've got to make it about the experience. And he used as examples to check out our Walmart, TJ Maxx, and Home Depot, and also a pop-up store by Kylie Cosmetics, who's Kylie Jenner. It opened on Monday, and she had lines out the door.
Yeah, it just is the craze. We'll see how that goes this holiday season. Okay, so let's talk Bitcoin just a little bit, because I think this is fascinating. I heard about it from my son many years ago. And yes, you might think so, but you will be surprised to hear who's saying it is not a bubble. It is Overstock. .com CEO Patrick Byrne coming out this week and saying it is not a bubble. And he actually said his quote was, "It's time that the world switches to real money, either gold or Bitcoin." And of course, Overstock is one of the companies that takes Bitcoin. The problem is not a lot of places do, but Overstock, Newegg, Expedia, eGifter now are all doing that. Although Byrne does say that as far as percentage of people that use Bitcoin that go to his website, it's like 0.25.
Okay, so here's why it's a Ponzi scheme.
What do you think?
Well, all other monetary systems are backed by governments and what the government owns. For example, in the U.S., if for some reason our dollar was collapsing, we could sell off Yosemite Park to pay the debt. Bitcoin has nothing behind it. And you also can't compare it to gold because gold actually has innate value, but a Bitcoin doesn't. The cost of making a Bitcoin is a lot less than a Bitcoin sells for versus gold sells by the ounce of the worth of the gold.
And that is exactly my thinking.
And Jamie Dimon says it's a scam, and I'm going to put his financial skills up against Overstock.com.
But aside from the fact of whether or not it's a scam, it has risen tremendously. And so there is, I don't know if you heard about the Bitcoin pizza incident, but there was pizza. There was a place that took Bitcoin for pizzas, which cost about 5,000 Bitcoins. That was in the very beginning of Bitcoin. Current price, that pizza would have cost the guy that spent his Bitcoins $4 million in Bitcoin.
Well, there is a guy who tried to survive in New York for 48 hours or something on Bitcoins and basically couldn't. So.
He starved.
But anyway, you could have made money on the Madoff Ponzi scheme too, but still a Ponzi scheme. So next thing, tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and if you're planning to get stuffed, Stovetop has some stretchy pants These maroon unisex pants have a stretchy waistband covered in images of stovetop stuffing.
You know, actually, if you've seen them, the waist goes up to like right below the breast area. It's huge. And by the way, you can't find them anymore. They're sold out.
Oh,
it's
no.
It's kind of obscene, isn't it?
I think it's obscene. And the station manager was just saying to us that the average Thanksgiving dinner is 7,000 calories, which is really 4 days worth of food for
And you're having
woman.
4 Thanksgivings, so that puts you at what, about
I'm
30,000?
hoping it's 4. Shout out to the family. Please only stay 4 nights.
All right. Do you know what Stitch Fix is? Stitch Fix is a company that just recently went public last Friday. This is the company that actually ships shoppers clothing that they can try on at home so they don't have to go out, and then you send it back, and which I think is probably how people were buying online anyway. But the idea is they give you some different sizes. They did pretty well at the beginning of the day, and I think their stock rose as much as 24% at the debut. By the end of the day, though, it was back down to about a 1% gain at $15 per share. I just checked it before we got on the air. It's 16.9%, but we'll see what happens.
Now, that's interesting because if they're sending you a whole bunch of sizes, they must have a high return ratio, even more so than other retailers. Maybe they're working that into their price.
I always wondered if the retailers make money off people like me, and I'm the first to
Who
admit.
returns everything.
No, I don't.
Oh,
I mean,
oh.
I get something,
Then
I
yes,
order
they do.
online, it doesn't fit, and I think I really need to ship this back, and then
I
don't always
return,
do it.
I don't know, like 90% of what I buy online. PayPal's going to cut me off if they hear this. So Thanksgiving, which is tomorrow, followed by Black Friday, 115 million people in the U.S. will be shopping this year. Now, some stores are fighting against this and trying to go the other direction, like ModCloth says they're breaking up with Black Friday and going dark. And instead, the company is going to donate $5 million to Dress for Success, which is an organization that attires women entering the workforce. And REI is going black, telling its customers, go outside and get some exercise instead.
You know, I think that's a great idea. Okay, on the other end of it, it was only a matter of time. Santa is now getting into the tech boom. I don't know if you heard about this, but if you want to go see Santa at Macy's flagship store in New York, yes, you have to make your reservations online. For the first time, Santa will not see children without a reservation.
No, I think that's terrible.
Don't you?
Well, also, I mean, a lot of parents don't have access to computers.
That's exactly
so they
what
can't
I
do
thought.
that.
I'm wondering what the backlash is going to be there.
I don't think that's right.
They say that he's been so popular that the wait times have been long, and so they have to cut down
I guess
on
hire another Santa. I don't know. Oops, sorry. There's only one Santa.
the clone of Santa.
I don't know if there's only one Santa. I'm sorry.
There is a...
Wait, the radio show's just been shut down. Okay. Okay, something else. Oh, hey, these women-only co-working spaces are becoming bigger and bigger. WeWork has now invested $32 million into The Wing, which is a high-end ladies-only co-working space, and they have kid-friendly offices, including amenities such as showers, on-demand blowouts, lactation rooms, beauty supplies, and an access to a library of all female authors.
You know, it's kind of, I get it, but on the other end, if we had all male co-working facilities, I don't think it would go over very well. And I wonder if it's like, private schools where they intermix, so the all male and then the all female co-working
you mean
spaces
like maybe
get
they
to
have
a dance or something.
That's a great idea.
All right. You know what? We actually have to take a quick break here. When we come back, though, UCSB professor and business author John Greathouse is going to be here. He's one of our favorite parts of the show. He's going to be answering your questions. So you are listening to Co-Work Radio here on KZSB 1290 AM. You can follow us on social media. Don't forget to go to our website, too, coworkradio.com, and we'll be right back.
Koto Group. We are a boutique property management firm located here in the Central Coast. We are small enough to prioritize your business and large enough to match the right tenants with your property. Koto Group. We work for you 24/7 with around-the-clock marketing and emergency service. At Koto Group, we use leading-edge software, making us efficient and cost-effective. Koto Group. Property management for the 21st century.
Impulse is Santa Barbara's choice for reliable, high-speed fiber internet and cloud-based phone systems. Impulse offers best-in-class internet connectivity customized for your business needs. Impulse takes a high-touch approach to service, managing every aspect of your communications from the phones to the router to the internet, all provided by great local people who know you and are easy to talk to. Impulse has learned it's actually not just business, it is personal. Find out how Impulse can make your business more successful. Visit impulse.net today to learn more.
Hi, it's Catherine Raymock. Are you buying or selling a home? See Compass Realtor Terry Ryken. I went to Terry because of his reputation and experience, but was quickly taken by his genuine enthusiasm. It's that combination that truly sets him apart. Terry specializes in properties in Montecito, Hope Ranch, Santa Barbara, and Santa Ynez Valley, and has 39 years of experience as an agent and broker. There are so many realtors to choose from, but only one Terry Ryken. Find out for yourself. Google search Terry Ryken.
Santa Barbara Chief Sports listeners.
I am Dr. Patricia Bragg.
Hi, this is Forester Manager Bill Pintard.
Tom Reed here from the Unity Shop. It's wonderful to be partnering with Teen Sports Radio.
Hi, I'm Pete Georgi, proud alum of Bishop Diego High School.
Every single Tuesday
At 9 a.m.
Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio.
Welcome back, and thanks for joining us here on Co-Work Radio. I'm Catherine Raymock.
And I'm Jane Walker-Wood.
And we are here with venture capitalist, UCSB professor, business author, John Greathouse. And by the way, before we say hello to John, make sure you send your questions to AskJohn at coworkradio.com. How you doing, John?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Hot in Santa Barbara.
Hey, our question today is from Talinda. Beautiful name, by the way. Talinda has been working on her business for the last year or so. She's getting ready to hire either a couple marketers or possibly even a larger marketing team. So it sounds like quite a large business. But then someone recently told her that she should hire growth hackers, and she's confused as to what that is. And frankly, so am I. She's looked it up and she's still confused.
I am too. I've never heard that term. No, I'm kidding. No, it's no wonder that Talinda is confused. It's I think the word or the term is kind of lost its meaning. Its roots it goes back to when you develop software. If you're making a shortcut in the code, that's called a hack. It's not anything new. And I told my UCSB students, I've given them some examples from the past because they're the same way. They're like, hey, I want a growth hack. And it's like, well, all you're doing, if you want to put it in different terms, is it's just a clever way to jumpstart your business, a clever way to get an edge on your competitors. I'll give you an example from the 1960s. So one of my favorites actually was this guy named Anthony Athanas. He left home at 13 years old. He never went to high school or college. Ended up creating the most profitable restaurant in America during the 1960s. It was called Anthony's Pier 4 in Boston, right? And the way he did it a bunch of different ways. Obviously, he was a great restaurateur, but I'll give you an example of a growth hack that he used. What do a lot of people do when they get in a cab, and now it's an Uber, in a new city? I mean, they'll ask common questions. One common question is, where should I eat? Okay, so all these cab drivers are driving all these people all over Boston getting that question, and Anthony, because he was a man of the people, he knew they were getting that question. So he treated cab drivers with respect and dignity, gave them free food. He even invited them. So the grand opening of this new important restaurant in Boston was attended by cab drivers. So they're all sitting at banquet tables. They never get this kind of treatment, right? And what he would do is he offered them a free coffee year-round. So you can imagine how cold it gets in Boston. And it was a great way to do it because people would say, where should I eat? He's like, oh, you got to go to Pier 4. They drop their fare off, and then they go hang out and get some coffee. So it just was a great way for everybody to win. The cab drivers got some free food. It was a good restaurant, so the patrons got good food, had a good meal, and Anthony had a great business, and he did it for decades.
Do you think that some of the most brilliant ideas are just simply simple?
Yes.
I mean,
and they're often,
how is that hacking, though?
It's hacking in the sense that everyone else was spending money on newspaper ads and buying radio time. Not that radio time is not a bad thing, but they were doing the conventional things.
So it's hacking like a shortcut?
A shortcut, and it's often an unconventional, less obvious, clever way of getting to the same end, or even getting a little further to that end.
Something a marketing company wouldn't necessarily do,
right? Because if they're a paint by numbers kind of marketing company, they're like, oh, here's the playbook. Well, forget the playbook. I'm looking for something that's not in the playbook yet. That's what a growth hacker would do. Something that hasn't been done.
So most entrepreneurs are hackers.
By definition.
By definition.
I really believe that, yeah. And it just, again, it's come in vogue in the last few years, but it's just describing something that's been around forever.
Well, it does sort of beg the question, though, when you're